Let's welcome to the stage our third speaker, Cyril. Could you please turn off presentation? Thank you. Cyril Junior Redeem, give them a chance. Give them a chance. Cyril Junior Redeem.
When I was young, which was a few days ago, my mom would say to me, "Junior, don't talk to strangers. Don't do it. Raise your hand if you've ever gotten this talk from your parents." This principle protected me for most of my life, until recently when I had to pack up and fly over 6,000 miles to a country where everyone was a stranger. Now, it wasn't a problem not to speak to strangers when I arrived. They speak very little English out here. And if you haven't noticed, the local language sounds a lot like somebody chewing and talking at the same time. Polish for me sounds like it's just weird. Polish names, typical Wi-Fi passwords. For the first time in my life, I wasn't speaking to strangers, but I felt neither safe nor happy. If anything, I felt lonely, homesick, depressed even. I needed strangers in ways I wasn't ready to admit. I didn't like it, but I had to give them a chance. November 10, 2018. It was around midnight and I was in Burger King, exercising my rights as a skinny man to eat absolutely anything I want. I had just ordered my food when I noticed a man staring at me. Now, a quick side note about this man: he had absolutely no business being in Burger King at midnight. He was not skinny. Burger King at midnight is when skinny people catch up with everybody else. We are sick and tired of being told we have to run around the shower to get wet. Anyway, back to my story. You can imagine my nervousness. I mean, this guy is 2 meters tall, a thick beard. He looks like Chewbacca. As soon as I received my food, I ran to the nearest table. Burger number 1, down. I was hungry. Burger number 2, down. I was really hungry. Burger number 3, down. I wasn't sure if I was still hungry. Burger number 4, don't judge me. As I was halfway through burger number 5, guess who sits next to me? He's there, staring at me again. How about a salad? I'll be honest, I felt a bit attacked. But I decided to give this guy a chance. A conversation started, and believe it or not, Mateusz was rather interesting. He was born a long time ago in a city far, far away. Częstochowa. He worked in IT, just like me, so immediately I could guess what his hobbies were. Programming, Tinder, and clearing his browser history. He had traveled a bit. He seemed more positive than the average man, but just like the average man, he had interests, he had memories, and he had tragedies. Listening to me, you could never imagine that Mateusz had recently broken up with his girlfriend and was still grieving, even though this breakup was some 2 years ago. Even worse, you could never imagine that Mateusz, dear Chewbacca, was fighting cancer. It had affected his education. It had affected his love life. But these were the very last things I came to know of him. He was simply not going to play the victim. I mentioned earlier on that Mateusz had interests, he had memories, he had tragedies. But here was a man who also had hopes, plans, ambition. Maybe one stripper that he almost fell in love with, but that's not the point. An inspiring story that just needed a chance. As I reflect on this most random conversation at the most random of times and at the most random of places, I can't help but wonder how many such beautiful / disturbing / embarrassing stories I miss out on simply because I don't give people a chance. Do you have such a story? I will find you. Whoever you are. Wherever you are. In honor of what Mateusz taught me, I decided that maybe it wasn't such a bad idea to learn the local language so I could give more people a chance. So I'm learning Polish. A day at a time, swear words first. I also joined the Toastmasters, who seem to love this idea of speaking to everybody in sight. They call it integration. Raise your hand if you've ever been told not to speak to strangers. Or guess what? If you're in Toastmasters legally, you're old enough to speak to strangers. Some, like Mateusz, simply want to inspire the next person. Give them a chance. Others just want to tell somebody that they look like a son of Will Smith and Eddie Murphy. Give them a chance? Yet others simply want to motivate you to join Toastmasters. Run away from them. As I've learned and as I've reflected, in the end, everybody you will come across has a story. Everybody you will meet at this convention has a story. But you will never know what that story is if you don't give them a chance. And I'll let you in on a secret. You will need these stories when it's time to write contest speeches. On the flip side, I too was given a chance. A contest chair, fellow competitors, and all you guests. And to that I say, as would the Polish, dziękuję.
One minute of silence, please, for our judges.